How's it going, everyone? Jason from Unretired Gaming TV here, and as promised, I have another video in regards to a legendary set. And the set today that we're going to be showing you is for Mage Hunter, or it could be for any other class, just depending on how you play with it. It is the Runebinder set. So basically, it's a hat, armor, shoulder guard, spell thrower, which is the two-handed weapon that you have here, and the gem, which is a amulet. Now, as you guys know, I'm not a huge fan of using two-handed range weapons. I find that they're slow, all depending on how you do your build. But let's take a look at the pieces in themselves. So the Runebinder spell thrower, it's not too bad. I mean, the 1.46 attacks per second is actually quite decent. It's based more on elemental damage than anything else. The set is more based on elemental damage, and a lot of points will go into Inquisitor. Now, if you don't know what Mage Hunter is a combination of Inquisitor and Arcanist. Okay, so as you can see here, what it gives you is +3 to Rune of Hagarad, maybe massacre that, +2 to Rune of Callistor as well. Offensive ability is pretty good. The 15% skill cooldown reduction is actually very good. If your build is heavily based on lots of skills that have longer cooldown times, then this will be very good for you. The granted skill is called a Runic Bolt, which you can see the damage there. It's after 8 charges. It gives a pretty decent amount of damage, right? The 180% main hand damage, you have no choice. It is your main hand damage anyways, with it, since you're using both hands. Burn, frost burn, electrocute damage, then the percentage to burn, frost burn, electrocute. The 1200 elemental damage, 180% elemental damage, and 12% attack speed. Now, if we take a look at this one, so this is the armor, the chest armor. Nothing like super amazing. I find that this set is kind of squishy. I find as if you could be putting this on for an Inquisitor plus a soldier. I mean, it's as seeing that the soldier will have lots of skills in regards to your defensive ability. This is all depending on how you build it as well. Resistances, I find it would be better suited for that, but again, depends on your playstyle. So this is the chest armor. The gem is good. I like the +5% maximum resistance to fire, cold, and lightning. Again, there is a skill for cooldown reduction. It gives you +3 to Inquisitor seal as well. I'll show you the build that I have there, and I'll do a separate video on an actual build that I did for that my brother did for the Mage Hunter, because I don't really play these kind of characters usually. Shoulder guard is as we see here, so nothing too dazzling per se. And the other one was, so that was 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, the headpiece. Almost forgot. Headpiece. Now the headpiece I like because it does have that poison and acid resistance. I'm not exactly sure if there are different roles for that, for the resistances themselves, but the +2 to artifact handling and +2 to arcane empowerment are quite good. Plus, it, as you can see, the 1,113 fire damage to Rune of Callistor and the 8% crit damage to the Rune of Callistor. I find that pretty good as well. It really depends if you're going to use Rune of Callistor. I don't have it on my bar here because I didn't take it. I probably would have, because that would have been more of my playstyle. I enjoy more fire and lightning based builds when it comes to elemental damage. And for the rest of them, these are things that can have been easily replaced. I have 2 rings here. I have the Invoker's Will to set, so I do get 120% elemental damage. Totally replaceable, as you will. Hands, I would have gone with something that's more defense based, considering that if you get hit, a huge chunk of your damage, of your HP is just gonna dwindle away. I do have the Time Warp Walkers. I do like all that resistances. As you can see, my resistances are not super amazing, but they're good on themselves. For the belt Tinker's Ingenuity. I have the Badge of Mastery. I would totally replace that, but I couldn't find anything else on short notice. And I did choose Bane. I would prefer replacing this mythical relic by Serenity, just because the amount of resistances that you get from that relic is just pure gold. Unfortunately, I do not have it, so that's just one other thing that I would need to get. Build itself is okay. It's like full stat points into Arcanist and full stat points into Inquisitor. As you see, it's more like I went more auto, but it's just to show you here. So if we put on all the skills for the two hands, so I draw this like that, and if we put on our little Maven Sphere of Protection, and we're just gonna, if we go like here, this is just auto. The attack rate is quite decent for a two-hand, as you can see, 1.48 speed attack speed. It's not that bad. It would be way better with different kinds of pieces. I believe that the attack strength would be way higher than it currently is. So if you put the, we can just put in the Inquisitor Seal, this, you can just freeze him, do null, you can also use the horn, and as you can see, our DPS is going way higher, right? Yeah. So, this, it's more, I believe it's more in mobility since you're ranged as well. It's kind of a given once you're going range build. You want to attack, move around, attack, move around. So you're just gonna. These guys are pretty easy, obviously, but like you just want to use this, right? So nothing too amazing or exciting for this set. I find it quite mediocre. Other people might find it very good. And again, it really depends how you make this build. So coming up next, I will show you the build that my brother made specifically for a mage hunter. It's dual wield based, pistol based. So I do hope that you enjoy that in the next video. And don't forget, the links will be in the description in regards to the build itself, gear that I would most likely use for this build, and it'll be the same thing for the actual build thereon after. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.